X in purchase. Like, it just blows my mind.
All right, hold on one second. We're coming up on 8 o'clock, and 8 o'clock I do wrong button. There we go. Here we are. Everyone who's here, what? Oh no, that would change it. Never mind. So welcome. Glad you're here. Hi, Ruth. Ruth can read lips.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ruth. Good to see you. Well, good morning. This is the Saturday service. I'm Rabbi Brian. This is my interpretation of what a weekly service would look like in the age of COVID. I thought that was at least somewhat funny, but apparently there was nothing funny about that at all. So let me just jump into my definition of religion I have here, which isn't supposed to be funny, but as you guys are in a serious mood, here it is. Religion is learning to be creative within the confines of our limitations. That's actually, I believe that's a Rhinus quote. Michael, am I right about that?
Not that I'm aware of, but there's some
close.
elements.
Yeah. Learning to be creative within the confines of our limitation is the best chance we have to transform ourselves. I wrote that down while watching an interview with Hera.
What do you have on your forehead?
Oh, let's get to that. Thank you. So good morning. Good morning. I didn't want to forget to say this thing at the very beginning of the service, and so I taped it to my forehead so I would remember to say it. Hi, people who are watching on Facebook and on YouTube. We'd like to invite you to join us. All the people who are here, hey, all the people who are here, wave to them. Say, come over, come over.
Come over.
Say, it's not a cult, really.
Yes.
No,
We're not a cult.
very nice.
Really.
Yeah, no,
That's very nice.
that kind of got creepy for a second.
Don't bite.
Wow.
We're not dangerous at all.
No, we're
Just
warm and
Come to the only service where if you get uncomfortable, you can ghost it a moment. Boom.
But beware, you may have to be vaccinated.
Excellent,
please
excellent.
be
Let me,
begging people to vaccinate, please.
I'm going to interrupt only because I want to. I have a bunch of things. One, again, I like to have people's microphones unmuted, and we're using when people are talking, ordering ice cream, talking to their dog, doing whatever it is, and we hear them live. We're using that as a meditative practice and seeing how well we deal with shit when it doesn't go the way we want it to. Remember that homework?
Yeah.
All right, good. Let me start here. I wanted to apologize. Last week, I feel like I missed a note, and I said something before we did that exercise we did last week. Before we talked about what was really, how hard the last year has been for each of us personally, before we did that, I told you that when I taught math, the third time I taught a class, it went really well. And unfortunately, this was the first time I had ever done this exercise. And I missed a note at the end, and I wish I had done something differently. And what I wish I had done was I wish after we went into small groups, I wish I had let that breathe a little bit more. So I wanted to apologize if you felt like you were holding.
Please, don't. No.
All right, there we go. There's our practice right there. So I just to allow us to. I wanted to. Good. That being said, how do you feel now a week later? By a show of hands, just so I know, how many of us were here last week and did that exercise where we went in the small groups? Is that at least half? That's at least half. So I'm gonna, if you weren't here, what we did was we talked about how hard this year has been in general. And we said to each other, it's been a really hard year. This has been a really fucking hard year. We had to mask up. We couldn't touch people. We were scared all the time. The government looked like it was about to collapse and looked like it was awful. And we talked about how we'd be compassionate to someone else and how we take someone else's compassion. And then we broke into small groups, all the hands that you just saw. We broke into small groups and talked about not only that, but it was a really hard year because my dad died. And not only all that, and the quote that we used, I'm going to put it up on the screen here. This was the summary. It said, recognizing the hardships we've gone through is neither complaining nor being ungrateful. It's being present to our pain. Recognizing the hardships we've gone through is neither complaining nor being ungrateful. It's being present to our pain. Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. And the thing that it came, a thing that it is related to that we have talked about, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, is 2 weeks ago we talked about love. And if you guys would, all at the same time, say the word that we associated with the word love. 1, 2, 3.
RAUR.
And give me the 4 letters you used to spell RAUR.
RAUR.
The first part of love always is, tell me. Recognition. You cannot love something if you don't see it. And in fact, the least loving thing you can do is to ignore someone or something. So if we recognize the hardships that we've gone through, that's part of loving ourselves. And what came out of all of this was show of hands. And those of you on YouTube, I expect you to be doing this too, show of hands. How many of you find it a little bit... hold on 1 second. How many of you find it hard to take in love? How many of you find it hard to take in love? And for how many of you does that include taking in love towards yourself, from yourself, for yourself?
Oh, yeah.
And so I asked a very brilliant therapist who I happen to cohabitate with.
Convenient.
Yeah, and I said, Janie, I would love your thoughts on, and I apologize, I seem a little distracted because I lost the notes that this is based on, so I'm kind of free-forming it to remember. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to take a breath of air again. It's hard to take in love. I say to Jane, it's hard. We're in the backyard. We're cleaning up. Why is it hard to take in love? And she says, let me think for a moment. She says, I'm summarizing it, I'm making it like this was a little longer conversation, but she says it's 2 things. It's vulnerability and grief. Why is it hard to take in love? The answer is vulnerability and grief. Why? Why is it hard to take in love? Because to take in love, you have to be willing to be vulnerable. Sorry, if you are not willing to be vulnerable, you can't take in love. Hold on. Did that change the way y'all are seeing it now?
No.
Did I change the screen? Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
It did. I apologize, Joy. So to take in love, we have to be vulnerable. We have to be soft. We can't, it's Brene Brown talks about strong back, soft front. Is being vulnerable. And the other part is about grief. And I said, love, like when someone dies, I get that. That's a great quote Jane taught me too. That grief is love with nowhere else to go.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Isn't that a good one?
Yes.
Grief is love with nowhere else to go. It just gives you permission to have grief and love. All right, so that's what I'm thinking about grief. I'm like, why did grief and love? And Jane said the problem with love is it is grief. It's you can't have love without grief, without grieving for all the love that you didn't have, all the love that you got that was wrong, all the love that you wanted. And so in not taking in love, because we don't want these things. And I guess the question is, are you willing to be vulnerable? Are you willing to pay the price? And I'll give you where to do this next week. Here's your TWIP of the week. Your this week I'll practice. The TWIP of the week. You're going to get so many opportunities to do this that you're going to even forget to do it because it's so many of them happening to you all the time. Which is unfortunate, but this is the way that the universe has conspired it. When somebody next says to you, "Oh, how are you?" Actually take a moment to notice. Not the stock answer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you give the stock answer because it's reflex, go, wait, hold on a second. I have this horrible TWIP this week, and I have to actually think about this. And be vulnerable. And do you know what happens if you're vulnerable at the beginning of a conversation? Absolutely nothing. No, I'm kidding. What happens if you're vulnerable at the beginning of a conversation?
You want people to come back next week, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I jumped on. It was like there was like a magic moment there. There was a magic moment, and the music was playing, and then I went out with like a flugelhorn and just played the wrong note. And okay, maybe the right note, but flugelhorn was an odd choice. All right, so vulnerable. Here's your homework. Be vulnerable. When somebody asks you how you are. Why? Because it's going to be the only way that we get to love, and that's what we're here for. Okay, that being said, we're going to take a pause. I want to bring you this and see if this looks right to you.
God wants me to tell you a few things.
God wants me to tell you a few things, I think. Rabbi Brian.
The things I
The
think.
10th in Portland and Zoom.
What do you think? That's the current marketing, and I thought, hey, I have really good like A/B tests, and I got people I can ask. Does that intrigue you? Does it throw you off?
Yeah,
I want to know what
Yeah.
your dog thinks about it.
yeah.
Okay, but this is not offending anyone. I'm not missing the mark here. Good. All right. That is going to because that was the second version of the. Okay, that's one. So, and I'm going to do while we have the God thing here. I've been doing a few of these things. I've been calling God drops. So here's the God drop du jour. I heard this on a podcast called Crackers and Grape Juice. I'm going to be on that podcast in a few weeks. So here's what they quoted. It said, for many people, the topic of humanity's search for God will prove infinitely interesting. Whereas for the believer, the topic of God's search for us is infinitely more so.
Amen.
Wow.
Amen.
That's very deep.
For many people, the topic of humanity's search for God will prove infinitely interesting. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We talk about that shit all the time.
Yes.
Whereas for the believer, the topic of God's search for us. Oh my God, wait, is this a throwback to what we were talking about with vulnerability?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
God's search for us is infinitely more so. Yummy?
Yummy, yummy.
Okay, I'd like the whole group to say yummy, yummy.
Yummy.
Okay, now I need honest feedback. Is that totally creepy that I ask a group of adults to say yummy, yummy? It is creepy? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Hey, I got certain gifts and I have certain limitations. And
You have them both.
yeah, and I own them both. I have two more things up here. Oh, here's my picture. We're doing... While we just... Okay, so far, it is 8:15. There have already been like 3 delicious pieces of truth that have come out of this service so far. I know it's early for the 40-minute review, but let's talk for a second. If you were to tell somebody after this service, they say, "Oh, what did the rabbi talk about today?" At 8:15, you already know that you would tell them.
Yummy, yummy.
And they would say, "I'm sure it was awkward a little bit." But what was the message? What is a quote? What is something that I can do better with my life that you got already? What's one of the quotes you've taken already? Yeah, Kip?
And be willing to deal with your own grief if you're going to love yourself.
Can we get an amen?
Amen.
You need to be willing to deal with your own grief. If you're going to love yourself. Is that it, Kip?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. What else do we hear today already?
Love involves vulnerability.
Yeah.
Or love requires vulnerability.
Love requires. Thank you, Rags.
Yes.
Oh, wait a second. Whose first time is it ever at the service and they have this excellent opportunity right this moment to be vulnerable and say something? Of course, you don't have to. Nobody will ever know this was your first time here. But if there is somebody who's first time here and they want to say hi, take a moment to be vulnerable. I trust you. Let's see what happens.
Hello.
Oh, wait. I got more than one person. How do you love that? Jocelyn, you were already talking before I did the altar call. So God bless you for being vulnerable.
I'm always talking. Yeah. Hi.
Okay.
Welcome.
So stick around. We have a coffee hour for more schmoozing. But who is the other name who said hi for the first time?
Megan McCauley.
Hi, Megan. Thank you for saying hi. We don't have now. Here's it's unfortunate. This is really unfortunate. So I have had given people what I call an excuse to be seen or share with the group, and usually I give everyone a lottery ticket, not a lottery ticket, a raffle ticket. If you did something good that you're proud of, I give people a raffle ticket. There's no raffle because this is all conceptual. And then today, to make it even more conceptual, I don't have the raffle tickets. So this is a heady exercise now. But I'd love to hear, is there anything that someone did this last week and they've just been like squirming in their pants wanting to tell and maybe be a little bit vulnerable, and it's kind of exciting, but it's kind of totally frightening also because I don't really want to be that vulnerable in front of a group of people on Zoom, but I kind of sort of really do want to be that vulnerable in front of a group of people on Zoom.
I finally signed up.
Yay!
I've been attending via Zoom. I normally go to Rabbi Ariel's Zoom call, but I decided to attend this one. And then I finally signed up for the
newsletter
meetings.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Anyone else deserve a raffle ticket today?
I was supposed to say hi.
Who is that?
Hi. My name is Nacha. Hi, Rabbi.
Hi. I'm glad you're here, Nacha. Wonderful. Glad you're here. Thank you for coming. Okay. Woohoo!
Jess was trying to get your attention, Rabbi.
Oh, and hi, Jess. Let's say hi. This is feeling a little bit awkward to me at this moment, but I still want to say hi. Hi, Jess. I feel like. Okay. Did that?
Hi, Jess.
Okay. We're all here. I'm going to move on to. That was a little weird. I have a topic du jour. Oh, you have homework already. Do you remember it?
Yeah. Find ways to be vulnerable.
How are you? Remember that?
Think about that.
That's our homework.
Think about it.
I have to think about that. Yeah, you wise ass, Rita. Thank you so much. Don't mute practice. We got that. How are you really doing? We got that. We got that. I'm gonna make some announcements. We have. Oh, I have to share my screen. Excuse me 1 second. This. No. This. And hold on. We're almost there. And secondary display. No, wrong one.
My goodness.
Don't do that. Don't ever do that. There we are.
Confusing.
So this is a spreadsheet that Ann Mayer worked really hard on putting together, and Maria and some other help too. But they went through, and here's the pretty version of it. They went through all of the recorded transcribed services. And went through and saw when were different things talked about and put them by theme.
Oh, wow.
So you can see here all of the God drops were here. Here's stories. Here's all the times that there was a discussion about practice, Aristotle being present to reality, a whole bunch about compassion. Anger is the blue section, forgiveness, gratitude, wisdom, humility, and then over here are all the tools that we've been using. The 5 to 6 elements of learning. 5 to 6 elements of a spiritual life, Vygotsky's stages of development of learning, the change matrix, should, might, like, want, plan, promise, stimulus and response, caught versus taught, discernment and judgment, and spiritual barometer. So it's pretty cool. It's really cool.
Wow.
A lot of work that went into that. I have a request. If you see these topics. Never mind. I should have made a list, but I didn't think of that ahead of time. If you have it, if there's something that you can help with, it would be this. If you could take a topic. So this one should, might, like, want, plan, promise. Watch them and figure out which is the one that if somebody was just learning this for the first time would be the best one for them to watch. And in the trade-off for your time in figuring out which is the best one, you get to really learn that topic pretty well. So if that's something that you would be amenable to do, can you shoot me an email, please? You all know how to find me by email. So please send me an email, and just in the subject line write volunteer. Y'all are on your electronics right now, so it would involve taking, however many minutes one section is. It's not the biggest amount of time. I would love to get some volunteers. So thank you for that. And thank you again to Ann for putting that together, and most of it being off of Lee's work. Uh-oh. There we are. Okay, guys. Are we ready to learn something new?
Yay!
Okay. Folks,
that was interesting, Kip.
No, it was fine. It was honest. And
that's true. Way to be vulnerable.
And folks, you remember that I got my training teaching math to high school kids. I know how to read a room. this moment right now, are we ready to learn something new? Oh no, that sounds a little bit more. I thought it was kind of dead, and we didn't want to learn something new, and I was going to just shift gears. So, hey, let's do.
I have a mixed opinion. I see some faces that are going, no, and then I see a lot of people.
So how about I try for an upsell? Try for an upsell.
Okay.
The tool we're about to learn.
You remember
when we did?
Oh
wait, this is another thing. I showed these at the start of the service. I've been making little review sheets. Like here's the change matrix and a beautiful little graphic. Remember this one? Should might like want plan promise. What if I told you the thing that I'm about to teach you is a tool like this? Remember this was showing our intent to do something, and we could use it. The one that I'm about to teach you, Dabda. Fascinating name, I know. Dabda. And I say it again just so it already starts the learning. Dabda. Yeah, good. Dabda will help you to learn where you are with regard to acceptance about any issue you choose to use it for. How's that sound? Does that sound exciting? A little more exciting?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get there. And then here are other ones. So, at some point, I'm going to make the crib sheet. Oh, look, right there, in the middle of the page. See that? Dabda.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to learn right now. Okay. So hold on. Change screens. Go to here.
You don't have any monkey bars.
I still don't get that joke. Bob, but
you said to hold on and
hold on, right. Every single time I trip over that one. Okay. Dabda. You guys probably know these by a way that the person who came up with them never intended.
Wait a minute.
Dab.
That's not the same order you had.
Now, if you have dyslexia, there are so many more options.
Trying to confuse us.
No, it's just another way to look at it.
No. All right. And what that proves is that the B and the D sometimes can get switched around.
Oh.
Not true. But if when we get to the end they can be, I'm going to take it. All right. So here at the bottom is acceptance. There at the bottom is acceptance. And these when I tell them to you, you're going to recognize them from a woman you know of by the name of Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. And she did what is she known for? Everyone knows it. She's known for the stages of dying, stages of death and dying, stages of grief. Here's the little fun fact. She never used that phrase, any of those phrases. She never called it that at all. That came later on by a I can't remember who, but it was like a self-improvement coach. Somebody used it. Oh no! I'm getting that confused with. I got it confused with something else. Never mind. Coming back to this.
Erase that.
Yeah. A lot of us know this, so I want you to think before I do the next piece. I want you to think of something that you're having a hard time getting towards acceptance on. Think of something that you're like, no, boy, I don't. That thing. So this is going to follow what a lot of you know as the stages of grief. But the first one is denial. When something happens, and I'm going to take it as COVID. No, that's not true. We all said in our heads, and a lot of people continue to say denial. I'm going to run you through the example that I worked really hard in high school. As most of you have gone to high school, you'll understand what that is. Mr. T, the English teacher, assigned a 30-page paper due next Friday. You can't do that. No, you didn't.
That's enough time. That is not enough time.
I hate Mr. T.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe he did that. I'm not getting audited by the IRS. Fuck them.
Yeah.
That person's not alive anymore. Bargaining is the third one. The five letters say together DABDA. The first one is for D. The D stands for?
Denial.
The A of DABDA stands for?
Anger.
Bargaining. Well, you know, COVID-wise, COVID has taught us a lot of things about ourselves. Wasn't all bad. That's bargaining. Well, if we get the paper, if I work, maybe I can get that homework assignment done. Maybe the IRS will find out that I'm owed more money. That they owe me money. It's bargaining. It's not. The last second to last D. Wait a second. Denial, anger, bargaining. Oh. Yeah, this one's no so fun.
No. Fuck, I have to write that 30-page paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now.
30 pages is hard to write. I'm really feeling this one this morning.
Yeah. Now there's something in between the last two. Or you could say the last one is made in two stages. This is not Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. This part. Oh, and nobody else calls it DABDA. Those two. Because I'm a goofball. Don't try using that word. Nobody knows it. Acceptance goes to two parts. First, acceptance is all right. It is what it is. I get that. And the second part is okay. I get that. They sound a lot alike. One's with the head, one's with the heart. Acceptance comes in two forms, and they come in this order. I think almost invariably. That you get it, and then you get it.
So it's mentally and then emotionally?
Oh, I love you, Rags.
Thank you.
It's mentally and then emotionally. So think about the problem that you're at right now. Here's where this gets to be a really useful tool. One is just stage one is knowing the words. But now let's apply it. Think of that thing when I said think of the thing that you're having a hard time accepting right now. Now use this tool to figure out. Okay, this is a rough gauge. It's not exact, but are you here? Are you here? A lot of us spend a lot of time here. The anger one. So where? Yeah, I'm gonna make them into numbers. I've not done that before. I'm gonna make them into numbers just so that we can see. With regard to the issue that you are having a hard time accepting right now, and let's get to see everybody on the screen. What number are you at? Well, you can't be at 5 by definition. Well, you could be at like the first of 5, like you get it mentally. All right, maybe you could be at 5. But everyone hold up a hand. Where are you with regard to your issue right now? Do you mind sharing?
I'm going to try.
Where are we at? Oh, I'm still at 3. Yeah. And
isn't this like what Kubler-Ross actually said, that you bounce around, that it's not a linear progression?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bouncing around.
Yeah, a lot of people start right at anger.
Oh, I'm angry.
Okay. So what helps for me, at least mentally, is if I know I'm still at bargaining, I'm like, okay, that's where I am right now. It's like putting a save a bookmark in. Like, all right, that's where I am. Okay, it's like taking a break on the hike to catch your breath. Just this is where you are right now. All right, fine. Well, I guess we could be really meta, and you could be in denial of where you are right now. You could be angry with where you are right now. It's starting to feel like a screen and a screen and a screen. Okay, folks.
Can I say one thing, Brian, about this?
Oh, please, Hugh.
No, somebody just said something about bouncing around. I think it's really important that people remember that growth is never linear. And I think sometimes when we see something with numbers, we think we need to progress from 1 to 5. When the reality is, I like the image of it being circular, because you'll move back and forth and around and around and around. And then after 6 months or a year, you look behind you and you realize, okay, I'm not in the same place now that I was 6 months ago. And then you keep moving back and forth in a circle, and you evaluate again later on. And the growth kind of happens through that circular method. Anyway, I found that image kind of helpful to me in my own personal growth.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's like a spiral staircase.
Spiral. Yeah.
Oh, I like a spiral staircase corkscrew kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I think if you got acceptance mentally and you can't get it, the emotional, for me, then you bounce back to depression. Like, you can get it, but your heart's not in it yet. So then that makes you sad because you can't quite grasp it completely and accept it. So definitely a back and forth spiral.
Well, and the spiral is helpful because then you can feel encouraged. Not, oh, I fell back.
Oh, that's nice. You fell forward.
Yes, here I am again, but I've progressed.
Right. I like that.
It's kind of like when the stock market is actually going up. You know, you're going up and down, or back and forth, and it's only after a long period of time you realize you're in a different place.
I like that.
So mainly what we have to do is bide our time. And then I'd ask you, what's our best plan for biding our time, and not like if we're left alone to bide our time. I don't know. Are we comfortable just biding our time, just waiting? I have a hard time sitting down. Talking with other people, that helps us bide our time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of that's what we're doing. Yeah, Hannah. Hi.
Isn't here I am. Isn't there a sort of a sort of acceptance that goes with each stage? Because you kind of have to accept. It's like you're in denial, and then you accept that you're in denial.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe like you get, then that is like the springboard that gets you into anger.
Once you accept your denial, once we know. There's this great quote from Fritz Perls, and he said, "Awareness is in and of itself curative." Fritz
Perls. In the moment.
Say it again, Bob.
How about being in the moment?
Yeah, that was what Fritz Perls was all about. It was about being in the moment.
Let me offer a suggestion.
Do it, Harold.
If you use the spiral staircase or the screw analogy, biding time bugs me. But anyhow, if you're on that staircase, if you're on that screw, you can always look up to see where you're going, and it's not necessarily 1, 2, or 3. It's something up there, and you look down and say, "This is where I've been. I've been through this. I've been through this. I've been through this." And I'm not biding my time, I'm evaluating
Where I am.
5 as I go up.
Yeah.
And I can go up and look up and see, well, there's something up there for me, I'll take another step.
Yeah.
Then I'll have to go back to 3 to.
I like you making it three-dimensional, Howard. When you said up and down, I like what you said, where I've been, where I'm going. I also thought of it as it could be, you have a positive outlook and you got a negative outlook.
Right.
From any one of our steps.
Yes.
Right, this is just us all trying to be alive.
Rabbi?
Yeah.
One of the things for me is our RAUR, or ROAR, right? To get to your different stages, you also have to do the ROAR.
Explain to me.
So
Denial?
when you're in any stage of trying to figure something out, you have to recognize what it is.
Oh, nice.
Right. And then you have to accept it or not, understand it, and then respond or.
You always have a response, yeah.
Inside yourself.
I like that. So that's going to make it go to. All right. Who here is for AP Calculus? Because I think then we got to do.
No, thank you.
Oh, no. Oh, and then you're going to make a three-dimensional diagram, right?
Yeah.
It's just more like linear algebra.
More like boxes. Is there a non-linear algebra? Because I feel like that was.
There we go. So yeah. Here's the thing. I looked at what I had and I was like, there's no way I'm not going to get through. There's no way I'm going to get through everything. No way. No. Like that was.
You have next week already planned.
No, it's the exact opposite. I only have one more announcement. I'm out of cards up here. So let me tell you. Let's play with the one I got. I see about 10 minutes in it, so I'm going to have to stretch.
Well, I'm sure someone here can help you, Rabbi.
I'm certain for it. Let me see where we go with this last one that I have. Hold on. Please hold. It's quite an experience we're all having. I feel like it's a shared experience.
It is.
It is a shared experience. Okay, here's this. Hi. I want you to think. This one I did this with bad math, but I want you to think. Oh, come on, change screens. There we are. I want you to think of two people.
Okay.
You can tell about this service and or newsletter. I have my unselfish front story, and then I got my selfish backstory. Unselfish front story is I think I have some great tools, spiritual, religious tools I want to share with more people. And then the other side of that is I'm a little bit of a showman, and I just love interacting with groups of people so bad. So I don't think there's anything horribly wrong with that. But it's all, y'all know I love doing this. So two people who you can tell about this service and or newsletter, and there's some tricks to this. Because I said and or, that's going to wind up giving you 6 people.
Oh.
Because it's, because like if I say, hey, are you willing to tell 2 people about this service and or newsletter? You'd say, yeah, so that's 2 people who you can tell about the service and the newsletter. 2 people you can tell about the service or the newsletter. 2 people you can tell just about the service or just about the newspaper. Actually, I think that's 16 people if I'm doing the math correctly.
And you were a math teacher?
Yeah, that's right.
Are you questioning my math?
Former math teacher. Former math teacher.
Right. Okay. Nobody's upset with the way that.
Anymore.
Wait. Because now we're going to have a double standard here, folks. We're going to have. Because then, am I no longer a rabbi?
You're totally still being a rabbi.
Well, why am I not being a math teacher? I'm just
Rabbis are known for faulty math.
Thank you. All right. So you're up to 16 people, and then on a more serious end of this, I'd love you to tell 16 people. I want the newsletter has gotten really good, and I think it's worth the time it takes people to read. I think they get more back than they did from the amount of time it took them to read. And it wasn't always that way. Some of you have been reading my stuff since 2010. That stuff, I appreciate that you read it and that you love me and you read through it to get to the teaching, but it was a little dry. Here's what I'd like of those 16 people. Don't just pick 16 people. Do you happen to know a pastor at a Unity church? That's the kind of person I want you to tell. Do you have a friend at All Saints in Pasadena? Do you have a friend who's like big into liberal religion? Tell that person, or those 16 people. Or do you happen to know a person in charge of a regional religious conference? That's the kind of person. Tell them. Please. Okay. So now you have 2 pieces of homework.
It's going to be 18 people, Rabbi?
I think we're up to 32 now.
No. Kip gets a bonus point. Kip gets a bonus point. It's always 18. So yesterday, I was meeting with my project manager, and we were figuring out pricing of workshops that I'm going to be doing, and I kept doing them. Here's a picture of Denise. I want you to see her. There we go. There's me and Denise at our retreat yesterday.
Hi, Denise.
And everything I kept doing it in terms of 18. And she goes, would you just stop it? And in Judaism, here, I'm going to fill a little bit of time with a little teaching, because that's good. You know how we have Roman numerals?
Yeah.
And then we have Arabic numerals? Because we stopped using those Roman numerals because it was a terrible way to keep track of numbers.
Well, except for the Super Bowl.
Right. Like it's good once a year. Yeah. Okay. But it's a very clunky way to notate numbers, and so we adapted to the Arabic numerals. Well, Hebrew existed before Arabic numerals, right? Existed in some forms before Roman numerals. And so we took each letter and we just made each letter have the corresponding value. So A would be 1, B would be 2, C would be 3. Of course, this is a G because that's how it worked. So if you wrote out some words like the word chai, which means life, chai is yud is 10, and a het is 8, and so together it makes 18. And so Jews, we get so fixated on the number 18 because it means like to life, l'chaim. So the number 18 is a number for life. So ta-da!
So then are you charging $18 for your things?
It's a great question. But yes, so I'll show you. The thought right now is to make the crib sheet and all of these a downloadable $18 donation. But it could be that way. There we are. Got lots of good stuff on there. So thank you for asking. That is not available yet, but I do think it would be a really fun, good idea to help people, because not everyone's been with this program from the beginning, and just to be able to catch up on some of the things with the video links, which you're volunteered to do. So thank you. All right, folks. What are we talking about? We got a spacious 10 minutes. Is there you all know the game AMA? I've seen people do that. It's an Ask Me Anything.
Oh, I thought it was against medical advice.
It could be that. It could be that. So I'm going to propose an AMA. If you would do a private chat to Joe or Maria, who run the donut hour. Do a private chat to Joe and Maria, so I don't need to know who the question comes from. Just do an Ask Me Anything. Stump the Rabbi. You got anything to ask, comment to make? I'm trusting on Joe and Maria not to make up too many of their own questions to put in there. Does this seem like a? I see people looking at their keyboards. Does that mean you're typing? Yes, you're typing. I can't tell. Like.
We have the first question.
Okay.
Can you talk about? Thank you, Rita. Rita said it lovely.
What is it?
Oh yeah. Talk about that.
So.
And I apologize that I don't know how to
do it. No worries. So, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Het, Tet, Yud. Tisha is the number. It's an Aleph at the end. So this is. Am I on 15 or 16? And Av is a month. So the month of Av, Ba means of. Tisha B'Av is the 15th of Av. Am I Steve, Michael? I'm feeling really stupid at this moment. Ninth. It's the ninth day of the month of Av. Tasha. Okay. Tasha being 9 of Av, 9th of Av. It is said that is the year in which the temple was destroyed in 586 BCE by the Babylonians. It was on Tisha B'Av on the 9th of Av in 586. And also when the second temple was destroyed on this side of Jesus in the year 70, that was also done on Tisha B'Av. And many and Purim and other it's like the big Jewish unlucky day.
Yeah. Like 9/11.
It's everything bad that's happened has happened on the 9th of Av. Thank you for asking.
So wait, Rabbi, are you hosting your high holiday service on the 9th of Av?
Oh God, no. No.
It's September 9th, right? But
no.
Av is September.
No.
Calendar.
Wrong. It's the wrong one.
Oh, okay.
Use the Roman calendar.
I do have one other thing that I forgot. I totally forgot us to do the quote that I had led with in the email. Forgot all about that. All right. Never mind. Do we have other questions? Anything dribble in?
None yet.
All right.
I have one. I have one I can pose.
Sure you do.
Can you be angry and in denial at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can be angry that you're in denial.
And you can also be
angry that you surpass denial.
I can't fucking believe it. That's anger and denial 2 in 1.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Paul.
Hi, I'm new to your group and I overslept, so I missed the first half. But I won't do it again. Looks like a lot of fun. And I was particularly interested in the article about how to deal with difficult people or asses, as you put it. And I started reading it, and with love, and I'm saying, oh bullshit, I can't give love.
I love you, Paula.
It's crazy, but
right in.
I know, but what happened is there was these 3 things that you could do.
Yeah.
With this person, and I really started to think about it. And I actually found 3 things based on what this article said that I'm going to try. And I was really surprised because I never thought I could find anything to deal with this person. So thank you. I'll let you know if it works.
I think it already has worked. Look. Good job, Paula.
Remind us what the three things are.
What else is?
Yeah, so Paula, you read this article.
No, that was yesterday. I can't remember.
All right.
But I have to refer to it.
There's an article that my friend Larry wrote, and it's called How to Deal with Impossible People. And there are 3 steps to how to deal with impossible people, and I'm going to see how well I can remember it. First step for how to deal with impossible. Oh wait, while I start talking, I can look for it. How to deal with.
Well, it's all about love.
Yeah, I know the answer.
Sorry.
All right, I got it here. It's coming up. So the first thing you need to do, and this was not something from Larry, this was something that Jane added to it, was that the very first thing you have to do is you have to answer the question, is this somebody who I need to deal with?
Right.
And is this because if the answer is no, fuck it. Like don't deal with it. You don't have to. So the first step how to deal with impossible people is to realize that it's possible.
Is that number 2?
Is that number 2? Just this is not in order. Jane did it before Larry, so James was like number 0. Do you have to? The next thing you need to do is you have to realize that it's possible. You have to realize that somebody could love that person, and kind of that part says level up. You can too. Gandhi didn't have magic. Nobody has. It is possible to love people. And then hold on. The other thing you need to do is realize that another thing you need to do is realize that the thing you had been doing don't work. How do I know that? Because you have impossible people in your life.
Yeah.
So you need to be. You need to know it, and you need to be willing to change. You need to know it's possible, and you need to put aside your foolishness and grow and get through that uncomfortable. And it sounds like you, Paula, hit that all last night, which is faster.
I haven't tried it yet. I'll let you know if it works.
But you're not angry about the situation anymore.
That is true, because I see hope.
That's enough, right? I mean, if that is all you got, fuck it. The article was worth it.
Right.
Because you're not upset about it anymore.
I like the particular beginning that said, do you have to deal with this person?
Yeah.
And I think that's critical. Unfortunately, she's in my book club, so I have to deal with her.
Write a book about her.
What was that?
Write a book about her and make it really snarky and then have everyone read it. All right.
What's number 3?
Okay, so step number 1 is to realize it's possible. Step number 2 is to realize it isn't easy. And number 3 is give them what they want. Love them.
Oh.
You got to figure out how they like what kind of love they want, but that's it. Hey, maybe I'll send that out as a link to all y'all's. And then you can forward that to your friends. I'm really trying to get.
I really like this. We had to put down 3 things you could do. That was important.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm glad you said that, Paula.
Yeah.
Good. So folks, gosh, this is like one of the most fun hour of my week. Not to take anything away from the next hour, which is donut hour. If I run off and social hour without any pressure of a rabbi watching you, this rabbi watching you. Joe and Maria run the main room, donut hour. Alex is doing tech as always. Lee, I didn't thank you for transcribing as you always do. I always appreciate that. Kip and or Alex is running a deep dive.
Yep.
Okay. Kip and or Alex. That's 16 to 18 people are going to be running the deep dive. And is poetry room happening?
Sure.
The poetry room is happening. Thank you, Katie.
If you want to talk about poetry, I'm always game.
Good. I might stop by. I have a poem that I really think would fit today's theme about love. There was one other thing I was going to say. Well, you all have your homework. You have your homework. Practice being vulnerable. Let people see you for who you are. And it's all right if it feels awful and scary. Okay. I'm Alex. I didn't co-hostify you yet. Alex?
Yes, you have not. You have not.
I was supposed to do that. All right. You have been hostified.
I like that word.
All right. So the small. Oh, look, and there are all these things in the chat. I'm going to hang up. Say goodbye to our friends on Facebook. And YouTube who are going to join us next time.
Bye, friends on Facebook.
Bye-bye.
Join us next time.
Enjoyed all the laughter.
Bye, Hannah.
Bye, Hannah.